Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Fine Cider Friday, and this week I've got a bit of a face-off between Babycham, that classic perry from the 60s, and a reincarnation, in a way, by Hawks called Babyshambles. Both perries. I can't say I've ever had Babycham before. I don't remember having it anyway, but I think for a certain generation there's definitely some nostalgia around it, and if you talk to some people about perry, this is the one thing they will remember. Fantastic sales in the 60s. I think there's something like 1,000 bottles an hour going off the production line back in its heyday. No longer made by the family that originally invented it down in Shepton Mallet. I think it's owned by a big conglomerate now. And the descendants, I think, do Brothers cider. But anyway, this has come back. If it went away for a little bit, you can still get it in a couple of supermarkets. I suspect it's made differently to how it was made originally. It's got sugar and sweeteners written on the label, so I'm expecting this to be quite sweet. It is very pale though. No idea what varieties have gone in it, but I know that when it was very popular there were perry orchards being planted across the southwest and the three counties to keep up with the demand. So we'll have a taste in a minute and see what we think, or I think even. And then this is from Hawks, and this is their kind of ode to, how they put it, ode to a forgotten kind of drink, and their drive to create a resurgence. I mean, I love the design, I love the label. It's a great piece of marketing. It's fantastic. But this is just made with conference pears that have been oak fermented, I believe. So these conference pears, yeah. Look at the colour difference. Fascinating. So let's start with the original and have a look at this. Crystal clear, exceptionally pale. Really nice little gentle fermentation. I didn't have the saucer glass that you used to get with Babycham, but so I've gone with a wine glass. Let's have a sniff. There's not a lot there. It's very light. Bit of like lime, maybe like, actually there's a bit like lemon lime cordial. So there's definitely some citrus going on. Maybe a bit of tropical, like melon in the background, but it's not overpowering. It's very, very gentle. Let's have a taste. To me, it's very, very sweet. I mean, perry is sweet anyway because, well, most of the time it's sweet because it's got an unfermentable sugar in its sorbitol, so that's sometimes always left, and it depends on the pear variety as to how much sorbitol is in it. But that is, they've added, as I said on the label, they've added sweetener and sugar, and it is very sweet. There's just not much there. It's kind of a bit bland. There is a little hint of that citrusy quality to it, maybe a little bit florally, but yeah, it's not doing it for me. Maybe a little hint of acidity, but it's mainly sweet. Let's move on to the reincarnation from Hawks, and let's have a look at that colour. I mean, wow, that's fascinating. I mean, it's crystal clear, but then there's kind of this like copper bronze to it, and the carbonation is pretty similar to the Babycham. Although it doesn't stir up any bubbles when I give it a swell. Let's have a sniff. Totally different nose, obviously. I mean, now they say on the bottle candy, honey and caramel. I can definitely get honey and vanilla from that. It's been in a barrel, been fermented in a barrel, and there's definitely some vanilla element to it. And I can see what they're saying by candy. I don't know if you've ever been to the States or you've ever had American candy. You can get candy corn, and this smells just like that. This kind of sweetiness to it, but leaning more towards honey, definitely. Okay, let's have a taste. Much more complex than this. Much more balanced. There is a bit of sweetness there, but there's also a nice gentle acidity. There's a bit more like texture to it, although it's very gentle carbonation. It just kind of gives you much more in the mouth. There's like a little smidge of bitterness, and then a bit of, something different actually every time I have a little sip of it. This time it's a little bit more tropical. I'm actually really impressed by that. I've tried making perry with conference pears before. I've got a conference tree in my garden, and I've had a lot of trouble with it. It's very hard as a pear on its own. It can be quite mild and bland, and I think by fermenting that in a barrel they've done a wonder there. That's really good. So how to finish? Well, I think it's a case of out with the old and in with the new. I'm glad Hawks have joined the Perry Crusade. There is some fantastic perry around at the minute, and lots of producers to check out. But this is a great start from Hawks. So cheers to them. Thanks for sharing a bottle with me, and cheers to the weekend.